Let me sit here. This is our road.
So as we come back, part of building community is also making sure we have proper nourishment. So everybody had an opportunity to eat. You feeling satisfied? Good. Hopefully folks had good conversations. Maybe you sat next to somebody you didn't know, learned the person, communicated with them. And so now we're going into the second phase, right? And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to give opportunity for y'all to talk. We're going to put some prompts out and give you an opportunity to talk to each other. And then we're going to end it with a performance. For myself and Ivan, we have some special guests. Yeah, and then actually, we just by show of hands, is there any performance here? Whether you sing, whether you rap, or anything to that effect? Okay. All right, and so we'll also keep our eyes out on you as well, all right? So cool. So the first thing we talked about, we talked about a lot today, right? We talked about violence, we talked about our communities, we talked about peace, we talked about how ourselves can be healers, right? And so what we want you to do is we have two prompts, and I want you to sit with it for a moment, is I want you to think about somebody in your life, think about your journey, that you would like to forgive. So I want you to take a moment, think about somebody in your life that you would like to forgive. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to think about that.
I want you to think about why you want to forgive this person. Could you still, is it possible to be in front of this person or write a letter, or if the person's no longer with us? So think about somebody you want to forgive and why.
And once you have that person in your head, if you feel comfortable, and hopefully you do, we just want to take a moment to turn and talk. So you can choose the person to your left, to your right, or you can kind of be brief. So turn and talk. And you don't have to mention the person's name, but you can kind of share the situation or the scenario with the person next to you. All right? So take a moment and turn and talk. So we had an opportunity to kind of share ideas. And I just wanted to open it up in case anybody wanted to share with all of us, right, in terms of anything that they shared with their partner. So is anybody who cares to share in terms of thinking about that? Yep. So if you could just state your name and then you can share your things.
So I just want to be clear, not what your partner shared with you, but what you shared with you.
I couldn't share it, it's like really personal, so I might cry a little bit, but I think I can forgive my mom. She has since before she went to Iraq, me and her had a big bond. Everything was perfect, but then when she came back from Iraq, it was totally different. She took all her anger and all her all the things she's seen, and she puts it all on me. Since before, I since I was like 12. Um, like I was doing the wrong things when I was 12. I was smoking, I was drinking, and then she always told me that I'm never gonna be somebody. That I'm a bum, I'm a crackhead, or whatever might be the case. I always told her that I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna be somebody in life, and I'm gonna show you that I'm not that person. I'm gonna show her that she thought like because since I had a CO2 tank, she thought I was doing some crazy drugs, but in reality I was only doing weed. Like I was only smoking weed. That's the only thing. And then especially I went through so much pain. She always told me to take perks and just to smoke weed. I mean, not smoking weed to take perks, but I told her the opposite. Like I can't be doing that. She always said I'm gonna always be in the streets just like my cousins. I'm gonna be in jail. I'm gonna do gangs, but I'm not into that because I want because people look at me and they think of me like, oh, you just a thug, and I want them to see that I'm not that type of person, and I'm actually proud of myself. Instead of to do the things by myself, I got to do it by myself. I did what I had to do. I'm doing good in school. Like I got kicked out in the 12th grade, and honestly I don't forgive myself about that. But at the same time, now I'm in Youthville. Now I got my family, and now they're there for me. So I just want to forgive her because at the end of the day, I did what I had to do, and they probably should realize that I'm not that type of person.
Now that I have this problem, now that she quick. And one person I'd like to forgive is my dad for he was gone. Well, he wasn't gone, but he was gone. But he went to jail while in an early age. The reason why he went to jail was for like against my mom. You already know abusing my mom and all that. And till today's day, like he lives in the bathroom right now. And sometimes like I gotta call him, you know, whatever, he don't call me. But I do forgive him for whatever happens when time passes. And I don't forget, but I do forgive. And thanks to him, I carry my last name. And I get to pass it forward, you know. So I just want to forgive him for everything.
My name is Justin. I like to forgive one of the kids that like bullied me in the past because I understand he like made like a mistake. And I can't like really I can't like realize with this experience that people make mistakes. And I forgive him for that. Thank you.
I want to forgive my brother for not always being there for me, but then for supporting me whenever I did. I want to forgive my little sister because she always fights with me, but I realize that it's just because she really wants to be like me, so it impacts me to be a bigger role model than what I like. Because we always argue because say she wants to do something that I do and I tell her no. So I just need to move on from that.
Hi, my name is Brian. I want to forgive my sister from like when she bullies me and things like that, but it's just a brother and sister relationship. I know that, and it's like I don't get it. It's just like she just needs me for nothing, but I still love her no matter what.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll come over this way.
Want to forgive my mom because all the bad things we've been through, all the hard times, arguing, and she abandoned me, so I just want to forgive her for that. And hopefully I can see her again one day.
I want to forgive my dad. Sometimes he always wasn't there for me when I needed him. He was from Colombia, and I mean, like he got adopted, but his parents really didn't like him until he was the age from 10 to all the way to his age now. And I was here my whole life forever. I was here all my life. And he was born in New York, and he was there for most of his life. And he went over here, he met my mom, and then for a little bit, until I was two, and then he went over to New York, spent his time there until I was 9. He came back here, and now the weekend I'm with him, and all week I'm with my mom. So like it's hard because I really get to see him. Like sometimes if he needs to get money for like his rent and stuff, he has to literally go over to New Jersey because his mom is doing a clothing business, and she said you can help so you can earn extra money. And but I think it was from last month to today. He's been over in New Jersey from that time to get money for me and my brother. And I just wanted to forgive him. Thank you.
My name is Ariana. I'd love to forgive. His name is Isaac Brown, and he shot my grandfather. And my grandfather was an inspiration to me. He taught me to always look up, not down. And now that he's gone, like I have to forgive. Like I can't keep stressing that. Like I keep thinking of the guy that killed him, and I like see pictures of him in jail. And sometimes I just need to forgive him. So I mean I can't forget. My grandfather and me were closer than my mom and me, so it's different.
Yeah.
Y'all are inspiring. I just want to reflect that back to you all. So I'm gonna do something. I want to forgive. I want to forgive a human being that threatened my life, and I think about this cat a little bit too much, and I need to find a place where I could, I know he's all barking, but that's not something that I needed in my life, and it's brought stress to my life and frustration, and then it tested me. It tested me to practice the tenets of peace that I am about, and so I just want to forgive him for that.
One thing I just wanted to mention, I can talk from a perspective of a black male, as I am a black male. And I know for boys and men in general, oftentimes the only emotion, or one of the few emotions that's accepted, is this emotion of anger, right, or aggression. And I think one of the things about this is extremely powerful because it was a question. Is it allows us to feel human, and it also starts, and I also think it's part of the healing process. So for example, I remember, when I get cut and I have dirt in it, the first thing I have to do is kind of clean the dirt off, right? Put the alcohol on it, and the alcohol burns. But this is part of the healing process in terms of, the skin coming together and me being able to heal. I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge everybody who shared. And also, like in terms of real talk, I can offer hugs. So if anybody wants a hug, I'm definitely down for that. And like you were talking about, sometimes don't know what to say. But I just wanted to let everybody here know while I'm here, present. I can offer hugs, a laugh, things of that nature. So that's what I can give. So.
I forgive my mother because she's the only person that's been there for me all the time. Even though when I was younger, when I jumped out the window, she's still been there for me.
I wanna let I know that I'm also in the business of giving bear hugs myself. I want to ask for some of the over 25 folks, if you could share as well. One of the things for me is, as a youth worker, is that we don't separate our experiences from the youth that we work with, because we are an intergenerational movement. And so I would encourage one or two of the adults who are over 25 to please share.
I think what the group and I talked about is two different understandings of what forgiveness is. One is, kind of validating the other version of forgiveness that we talk about is not really allowing those people to occupy that space in your energy or your mind or your spirit. So I think it matters about how you understand forgiveness. So I think that's also a very personal experience.
Yes. Would you like to share who you would like to forgive?
Oh, actually, I did not share that. Would you like me to?
If you would like to.
Sure. I would really like to forgive my father. We discussed that sometimes you can forgive someone and not let them know that. You may not have contact with that person. And so that is the case for me. I don't have contact. I'm not able to say, physically, I forgive you. But, very tumultuous experience with him in my life. So I would like to forgive him. He may not know that, though.
Not live inside, and then there's a forgiveness that comes with accountability as well. And they're both like Mama J. Example, there was an accountability to that. I forgive you, but you better hold on to this, and that, the other. Sometimes also we do have to forgive people that we don't ever need to see again, or maybe don't even want to see again. So I think that's part of the process as well. Other times we're forgiving people maybe we haven't seen for a while, and all of a sudden, it comes from there. So I wanted to appreciate you for not only sharing that with them, but sharing that with us. Thank you for what you do. And I got over here.
Okay, thanks. First of all, guys, my name is Justin. I'm actually founder of a young professional group out in this area. So if anybody wants to talk about some future leadership stuff, please get my contact info. Who I want to forgive, my whole family, to be honest with you. I grew up, in the streets of Fall River, probably like many of you guys. Lived in the projects, 2 different ones, 3 different ones, and nobody believed in me, you know what I mean? Everybody just says, you're not going to make it, you're not going to do it, you're going to be in jail, like your old man, you're going to be in jail, like your whole family, And I did it. Look at me now, I'm in corporate America, I'm doing big things. And, let it make you stronger. Use it, hone in on it, and, say thank you. Thank you for not believing in me, because we're going to do it.
I love the idea. Do you want to share it? Not that. Who you forget. I love the idea. I want to implement it at the end.
Any other? Yeah?
Okay. I'm Anne Marie, and I would like to forgive my dad as well. He spent the majority of my life living kind of a double life. My family was in New Jersey, and he had a whole other family in Virginia. And even to this day, I've tried to forgive, but still kind of does the sneaky stuff and not telling us and kind of saying, well, if you don't want to talk to me, then you don't want to talk to me. So just trying to forgive him for that.
And we have one more person.
I've forgiven everyone that I would like to forgive, but what I'm asking for today is for someone to forgive me. Last year I got into a big argument with my cousin. Words were said, and I feel like I got a lot of negative things off my chest to him. And the next day, he got into a fight at school, came home, his mom punished it for him, sent him to his room. And later on that day, he was found out in his closet. So there. He was like my right-hand man, took to him every day, spoke to him. He was the only person that I really had in my life that I could tell things to, even though he was a little bit younger than me. I spent my whole life with him, and now it's crazy how things can happen, and a person that you hang out with every day can just go like that. And I also want to thank my boy Jose back here, because he struggles through something of the same thing, and I'm glad to see that he's strong enough to talk about it. So I'm just asking that he forgive me.
Thank you for your struggle.
Okay, so
I want to acknowledge that when we're talking about peace and we're talking about forgiveness, that it is heavy. Does anybody feel like their heart is heavy right now? Maybe you feel a release because you put something into the air that you haven't been able to feel before. So maybe you feel a little lighter. We're going to ask one more thing. We're going to perform briefly, and then I think kind of a wonderful way to end, and we'll bring that up towards the end. It's wild because I was actually thinking it, I offered it, and then you made it happen. So that's the importance of community, and I'll check in with you about that. So the next thing, actually, can everybody just kind of stand up real quick? Unless you feel uncomfortable, I was just hoping you could just put your hand on the person's next to you, on their shoulder. If you feel comfortable with a hug, you can go with that. Otherwise, just acknowledge them. Let them know that you're happy they exist, that you're happy they exist.
Day before we that little story I tell.
okay. So you want to facilitate that?
Yeah, but not quite yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I feel like next time we should be
That's right.
You're gonna get this work. Can I get everyone's attention towards the front? I got moved to tears a couple of times. I'm not ashamed of that. For me, that shows strength. I want to thank you all for sharing. I'm going to ask you one more thing to share with your partner. We're not going to open it up afterwards. We're going to perform. And I honestly, like, sometimes I'm in places where I can't wait to get out. Other times I'm in places where I feel like I could be there for a grip. Y'all got me feeling like I could be here for a grip, but we finished at 1:15 and we're gonna respect y'all's time. And remember in the beginning, the only guideline I gave was don't waste my time, I'll try not to waste yours. Y'all feeling like we've held to that? All right. So this is what you're gonna do, and it's gonna be with the same person that you already spoke with. And someone already led the way, which I thought was very beautiful. You're going to tell them about someone you want to forgive you. Few people already said that, but I want you to share with the people there. We're not going to share this with everyone. This is for you and that person. Take a few minutes and basically someone you want to forgive you, because we are not all, no one is walking around perfect, yes? So who is someone that you want to forgive you, or maybe you are grateful they already did? So talk to your friends, to your partners, to your peers, to your colleagues. to the next person, please. Another minute. Someone that you want to forgive you or someone you are happy they forgave you.
At this time, hopefully you had an opportunity to talk with the people near you or next to you. We have an opportunity for 1 to 2 people if they would like to share with the larger audience. We can do that. So I see one person. If there's one other person, you can raise your hand. We can do that as well. All right. So we'll start with one, and then since we have a hand from him, if we can share from him as well. So we'll do that.
Oh, like one of my friends told me. I like to came to my class to forgive him because I know him because he annoys me and I just want to like him. That's why I annoy him.
I'd like to forgive my grandfather who passed away. Before he passed away, he got really sick. He couldn't really be there for me. And I kind of grew up always like in spite of that because my sisters and everybody always grew up with a grandfather and I didn't really get to have him. But I realized that wasn't really his fault. So I guess I'd like to forgive him, but also ask for forgiveness. So I don't have to ask him what I did.
So what I'm going to do, and we have 1 to 2. All right, so probably maybe a brief few people to share. And let's start with folks we haven't heard of first. So you can state your name and you can share your piece.
My name is John, and I want to ask forgiveness from my family and my mother who passed away when I was 7. Ever since I started doing drugs, I've been having nightmares of her trying to kill me. And after I stopped doing drugs, I realized that that dream wasn't happening again. I almost died of drugs, and maybe that's what she's trying to warn me. So that I learned my lesson. I joined a gang, that's why my family don't like me. And I want to ask you for forgiveness.
You didn't have your hand up? Yeah, and then we gotta wrap it. Sorry.
Me, I want to apologize to one of my brothers. My mom had 10 kids, and I'm number 6, and he's number 4. I know my numbers. And we like let's say like me, I got brothers that let's say I was close with him, then I was close with this one, but he was always apart. And then now at a grown age, like I try to show him the love I didn't show him when I was younger, and like I respect him. Now he felt like he was alone. So he applied for the National Guard, whatever, and then he left. But we hung out, whatever, before he left, and we talked and all that. But I just, now I can't get in touch with him because he's out there. But I want to apologize to him, for not being there for him. He probably needed me, and I probably closed the door in his face or something. And that's something that stays in my heart. And I apologize for him. He's doing big now out there. And hopefully, God stays with him.
stop here, then they don't have to stop with us, right? So I know within some of you, you might have brothers or sisters or siblings that there are things that you shared here that you haven't shared with them, right? And if you feel comfortable, that might be something you want to do. It might be something like, I know there are adults who care about you, and if you have a strong relationship with them, that might be something that you could talk to them about, or you can talk with them with. So the conversation just doesn't have to stop here just because we're running out of time in terms of the event. And so I just wanted to make certain we thought this is, a step in terms of that journey. And hopefully, I know one of our goals was to make certain to express and show some things and bring a piece of us to share with y'all. And y'all definitely have shared so much with us, so we appreciate that. I want you to hold that thought, hold that person, hold that event in your head. This song that we're about to get into is entitled Long Shot. A long shot is somebody who's ever been told they shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, but did. Every single person that's sitting here, standing up here is a long shot. If you've overcome any sort of challenge in your life, you are considered a long shot. Alright? And so the way the chorus goes is like this, because in the traditional West African call and response, y'all about hip hop, right? We're gonna say something, we're gonna ask you to participate as well, right? So the chorus goes like this. Never supposed to be on top, the long shot. So they plot to brutalize us, now we the long shot. Gotta stop the system corrupt, we've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. Long shot, never supposed to be on top. Long shot, so they plot to brutalize us, now we the long shot. Gotta stop the system corrupt, we've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. So that's how the chorus goes. So on the count of three, if y'all can say long shot. 1, 2, 3. Long shot! 1, 2, 3. Long shot! Long shot! Long shot!
Matter of fact, can I ask you, because this is it, we wrapping it up. Usually when we perform, we're used to people like, in front or whatever, but I'm not going to ask y'all to stand, but I am going to ask those in the back. Can we fill this up just so y'all hear so we can rhyme for you? Please, please, please.
Long shot.
So it goes, what was it? 1, 2, 3.
Long shot.
Never supposed to be on top. So they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. This for the never supposed to be on top. So they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. I want to thank y'all for coming up.
Word. Long shot movement. Alright, so let's get this song going.
We're going to do this real grassroots. There's 2 mics, but we're going to use one of the mics to get the beat pop.
Yeah, so we're going to dedicate this song to every single person who shared, whether they spoke aloud or they shared in their heart and their mind, right? Never supposed to be on top, the long shot, so they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt, we've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. Never supposed to be on top, so they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt, we've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. Put a text stacked against me, born black, family of immigrants and great-great-grands who ain't own land. So I became a man, able to stand on my own too. Contributing factors, mother's love and the father's rules. Surrounded by aunts and uncles who adore you. Tell you the sky's the limit, even that could be surpassed too. Glimpse into my eyes, generation past due. Living off my ancestors' lives from deep planted roots. And dark rooms, no returners where they held you. But I developed picture perfect, watch us living proof. Through the pain, through the change, through all the abuse. We survive and we thrive, not through a long shot. Never supposed to be on top. Long shot. So they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. This for the never supposed to be on top. So they plot to brutalize us, now we the gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. Sometimes I amaze myself with my delivery. I stay low and work to flow, that's how the city be. Really paying my dues, observing crews, acting gangster. But they be snitching the blue, we living in misery. It's no mystery, dude, you watching it on TV. But we live in the news, ready to win cause I'm afraid of what I do if I lose. Choosing to
road less traveled to unravel the truth. Ready for battle as I grapple with unleashing my roots. The world's cold, my goal is to be reaching the youth. Teaching them there's more to life than to be feeding the loot. And that a man's not better cause he's wearing a suit. I've been through tough times enough times to understand that each scar in its own way is branding me a man. Seek knowledge and attempts to expand my grasp. And like Martin, willing to die to be free at last. This for the long shots, never supposed to be on top. The long shot, so they plot to brutalize us. Now we the gotta stop the systems corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. This for the long shot, never supposed to be on top. So they plot to brutalize us. Now we the gotta stop the systems corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. Struggling to sleep, 60 plus hours on my feet. Just getting my education, ain't making these ends meet. I work a couple weeks to enjoy the energy you're having. Food on the table and shoes on my feet. Walking this treacherous road where there's a path lead. Achievement of my goals and success in my roots, embracing my woes. Temperature low, in degrees, taking its toll. Blistering cold in the streets. No vehicle to drive, just my tribe and a dream. My focus, intuition, my conviction, my beliefs. My vision, my religion, and it's after groceries. Cause my hunger pangs the day for something to eat. Wobbly on my legs, can't fall, schedule to keep. Cause the boss don't understand when I'm eating to sleep. The cost was to the plant if I need belief. So I swallow my pride and ride through the routine for the never supposed to be on time. It's for the so they plot to brutalize us. Now we the gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're making a fuss. This is for the long shot. Never supposed to be on time. So they plot to brutalize us. Gotta stop the system corrupt. We've been silent for too long and now we're this is for the have not to have not ain't never give up. The have not to have not ain't never give up. This for the have not to have not ain't never give up. They say the sky is a limit, but my hands ain't been touched. This for the have not to have not ain't never give up. Have not to have not ain't never give up. Have not to have not ain't never give up. We won't never give up. We can't never give up, cause we the long shot.
We just headlined the Wake Up the Earth Festival in Boston. It's like thousands of folks. We had the live band with us, ridiculous sounds. And this, to me, is just as fresh. You dig? So, I made it pretty clear I'm Puerto Rican. I'm mad proud of my roots. And you know what?
Yeah. So I wrote a verse. Y'all know Styles P from the Locks, yeah, D-Block, etc. He did a joint called I'm Black, y'all. So my man was like, oh, you should remix that, call it I'm Brown. Now, I'm off tan, right? But this works out, all right? So bear with me. See, I'm brown, even though we come in all colors, from the bricks to the suburbs. I'm a rep for my brothers. To the Latin queens who fought too often as single mothers. Trust me, we love you, though we do the things that thugs do. I know it bugs you, stop and breathe life we must do. All praise is due to the women holding us down from the beginning. I'm brown, that's how I'm living. Proud, that's the feeling I get, cause I'm Latino. From the bean to Puerto Rico, Clemente to Albizu. I'm a rep for my people. It's like church over here. I'm a rep for my people in the belly of evil. Yo. Organized, that's the game plan. From islands to mainland, we reppin' the same clan, got roots from the same man. Taino, Spaniard, and African. I'm brown, and we all young lords from pun to the floor. Lords, 4-door Honda Accords drop to the floor. But we so much more. Look how rowdy we get as the festival each year lively is. La que bonita bandera, rockin' la guayabera, 100% boricua, se lo digo a cualquiera. Maria pa' afuera, cause this is our era. shining star from PR trap fall, but we are beautiful people. I'm brown from out of Sewell. I'ma rep that every day, rep that in every way. I pray for a better day. That's why I say I'm brown, and then I feel it in my soul. We gotta let them know we tired of these bulls. Raise your fist and hit them hard with the left like Tito Trinidad. Okay. From the Bronx to Chi-Town, DC to B-Town, we reppin' the scene now. And here from the inception, in my veins flows the salsa with Colón. From Bangwan to from San Juan to Bayamón. I dedicate this canción to revolutionaries like Lolita Lebron in the 80s and still strong. Despierta Boricuas, we've been a colony for too long. No longer using Vieques to drop bombs, but we stay stressed. We want the Pentagon gone, but clean up your mess like our basketball team did to the U.S. See, I'm brown like the skin on the gum that's playing the beat. And I'm hot like PR during the summer heat. Cool down with a piragua from Ponce de Caguacu. Live up to Naranjito. I'm brown like Tito Puente. Rap hard, para mi gente. Caliente like mommy's cooking. Rice and beans, you can smell it in the streets of Brooklyn. Pastelitos like Capullas y Bacalao. Look at us now. Somehow we stay struggling, on the corners hustling. It's puzzling, the system wanna keep us locked down. Los Yankees getting fuego, just ask Roy Brown. I'm brown, and on the corner playing dominoes, snacking on plátanos. Trust me, I'm brown, and I'm not afraid to show it. I'm a genius and a hero, a poet. I'm brown, I'm that if I ain't nothing else. I'm brown, I'm beautiful, I love myself. Say I'm fronting on y'all. Salute, Justin. So this next piece, just by show of hands, how many people love someone? Right? I mean, there's all sorts of different types of love. I mean, hopefully you can love yourself, you can love your mama, you can love your partner, your life partner. And so I just embarrassed her for a low moment. But this is a woman that I love dearly. Obviously, my son I love dearly as well. And he loves me. So this next song, because I know like in hip-hop, I felt like when I listen to hip-hop music or listen to any type of music, sometimes when I hear love songs, it's not really a love song I would write. Like some love songs I had, I'm like, yeah, that's dope, but it doesn't really apply to me. So what I did is actually wrote a love song that applies to me, so it's all real, all authentic. So if y'all can take that ride. If you ever seen, what's the name of that movie? Maguire? Jerry Maguire, thank you. There was a line in it, right? And the line was like this. And folks who don't know, it has Tom Cruise in it. And there was a line, and he says to the woman, he's like, you complete me, right? That was his line he said to her. And I saw it, and to be honest, my first reaction was, oh, that's kind of corny. Because I was hoping, and for myself, I feel like I'm whole by myself. I don't need somebody else to complete me. I look for people to compliment me, but I don't need anybody else to complete me, right? And even though, for example, I love Taina so much, right? I can see, I can envision us being together like 95 years old, on rocking chairs, talking about this performance. Remember when we were in Fall River? Right? But I also know, because I am hope, I think we complement each other very well. But I know, because I am a hope person, that even if, in the case of the situation, stars were aligned and she wasn't able to be with me, I could still be okay. It would be hurtful and, painful. But as a person, I understand that I'm whole. Right? So I wanted to share this piece with you. You're my antidote to stress, my calm when I'm restless, a building block to a better me. You're my Tetris. And through the paintbrush, thanks much, kiss and hugs, feet planted in the dirt, head above the clouds. You're a creator,
timekeeper, God is with your hands. Crafting creations transcend limitations placed on man. And every day we meditate, thankful for the plate that holds the sustenance, providing fuel for our day. We in the garden picking vegetables in the back of our home. To keep it real, you keep it fresh. Locally grown. You're my lover, my best friend, my confidant. You stand out. Reflection in the mirror. When I'm scared, you hold my head up. My hands tucked, your hands extend, ready for embracing. The basis of my strength when I'm facing opposition. When I need to talk, you listen. When I make mistakes, forgive me. It's all part of living, connected ecosystems. Now, I could live without you, but I prefer not to. Two independent souls in human form, you know I got you. Now, I could live without you, but I prefer not to. Two independent souls in human form, you know I got you. You know I got you. Y'all all right with us? Y'all all right? So I'm gonna hit y'all with, how many MCs we got here? I'm gonna hit y'all with 2 more 16s, then I'm done. I'm gonna hit y'all with 2 16s, then I'm done. That's like a total of 2 minutes and 20 seconds if you're with me. The first 16, I wrote for my son. I have 2 boys. One is 5, the other one is 7 months. But the one that is 5, when he was just born, I was like, I want to write him like a bedtime song, but like a lullaby. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. Do not rap your child to sleep. It doesn't work. So it didn't really work out like that. But it's his track. It's his song. And what's wild about it is he asked for it. He'd be like, Papa, will you do my song? Will you do my song? And I remember sometimes, like when he was 2 or 3 during bath time, I'd just rap it to him. It'd be words he didn't even understand, but he knew it was his song. So I wrote this for him. Little bear, listen. If I could share some wisdom, I like to share a vision of you breaking tradition. Put the keys in the ignition and drive. You on a mission. Ride your ammunition. Your dreams come to fruition. Competition is you. When you fall, what will you do? Stand back up. Tell your fears to back up and get through. By no means do I know it all, but dreaming you'll achieve. First perceive, then believe, and then you will succeed. And success doesn't mean that you won't fail along the way, but when times get hard, you won't bail and walk away. When you smile, it makes my day. Just a child who needs his father to teach him to reach farther, to teach him to dream harder. Close your eyes, young bear. You'll need him to get through. Besides, rest well, because I'm here to protect you. Love and respect you, and believe me, I feel blessed to. In time, you'll find that you will shine. You were meant to. With my little gospel. I had this dream. I'm describing the dream now. Woke up, I was like in sweats, like I am now. Oh, what was that dream about? It ended up being, I skipped mad stuff, by the way. It ended up being that the dream was about fear and what fear meant to me. And when I woke up, I was like, boom, fear is the enemy, right? And so I wrote a verse and I designed some t-shirts and did some screen prints. I'm about to graduate next week from the School Museum of Fine Arts with my BFA in Fine Art. I'm supposed to be there right now, but I told him I had something more important to do today. And then next week, I'm going to graduate. 33-year-old, it's all good. After that, I'm considering my master's in therapy. This verse is about fear being the enemy, right? If we're all honest, there's something we are afraid of. Now, it could be death, it could be mice, it could be snakes, in Puerto Rico, it's the flying cockroaches. Oh my goodness. I sleep with the sheet over my head at Abuela's house, and she got no fear. She be like, what? Why are you scared? It's like this big flying. So, that's my good intro for this song. It goes, fear is the enemy. I said fear is the enemy. See, fear is the enemy and hate is his nickname. Love is the remedy and jealousy's a sick game.
Only God could judge. I'm grateful for the blessings. We fight hate with love. Every day a lesson. Reflections of light as I fight this depression. We will shine bright, of that there's no question. See, I'm not a zombie. They can't stop me. Even with an army, harm me hardly. Because even when I'm gone, I will carry on. Find purpose in the pain, live on through my songs. I'm not afraid of death. I cherish every breath. I'm grateful I exist. I find bliss. I live for the moment because the next might be it. I don't want to be you. I'm not a replicate. I want to be me, not who you think I should be. I want to be free, and together we could be. Just remember, love is an action and peace is a verb. Don't fall for distractions. Fly with the birds. Say, love is an action and peace is a verb. Don't fall for distractions. Fly with the birds. Say, love is an action, peace is a verb. Don't fall for distractions. Y'all kill me one more time. Say, love is an action, peace is a verb. Don't fall for distractions. Fly with the birds. Bless up, y'all.
So let's give it up for the foundation. So one of the things that I think is great when we have the Peace by Peace Conference is that we get the opportunity to hear people's stories. Today, and Iraq not only rapped for us, but they told us a little bit about where they came from and what their life is about. And many of you were brave enough to talk and to share and to really open your hearts to us all. And I always like to end with something, some kind of story, so that everybody can walk out on a pretty high note. So this story takes place, and it's about two brothers. What happened was, the spirits of the universe decided that they wanted to find the place in the world that was the most beautiful. So they sent out messengers all throughout the world. And the messengers came back, and each one presented their place as the most beautiful place in the world. The first messenger came back and told about this mine deep in the ground that was filled with diamonds, giant, sparkling diamonds. And the spirits of the universe said, although this is very beautiful, this is buried deep. It is not open for everyone to see. It can't possibly be the most beautiful place in the universe. And then the next messenger came back, and he took them to the deep, dark forest, where trees had been living for hundreds of years. And the shade that they put on the land made it impossible to go more than 2 or 3 feet without knowing what was coming next. And the spirits of the universe said, although this place is very beautiful, this can't be the most beautiful place in the world because you cannot step together with others. You can only be in darkness. And then the third messenger came back, and he brought them to this field. And in the field there was wheat growing. And at one end of the field was a house occupied by one brother. On the other ends of the field, there was another house occupied by the other brother, who was married and had children. And they had had a terrible fight. And they had fought over the land that their father left them. And what they decided is that each of them was going to harvest half the field. And every day, the brother with no children would go into the field, and he would harvest his wheat and bring it to his barn. And the brother who was married every day would go into the field, and he would harvest his wheat and bring it to the barn. Then one day, the brother who was married said to himself, you know, although my brother and I don't get along, I have a family. I have children that are going to grow. And eventually, when I am old and tired, my children will be able to help me. They will harvest the wheat with me. My brother doesn't have a family. He needs more than I need. So that night, the brother with the family harvested during the day, and in the middle of the night went to his barn, loaded up the wagon with bags of wheat, dragged it across the field, and brought it to the barn of his single brother. Well, that very night, the single brother stood up, woke up in a flash, and he said, I am only one. All this wheat only has to feed me. My brother has a wife and children. My brother needs more than I need. And he loaded up his wagon with wheat and crossed the field and put it in his brother's barn. In the morning when they woke up, both brothers were shocked to see that they had the same amount of wheat with what they started with. Every night, the single brother would get up, load up his wagon, drag it across the field, and unpack it in his brother's barn. And the married brother would do the same. Load up the wagon, pack it up, bring it to his brother's barn. Until one night, the moon was full, and both brothers were dragging their wagons across the field. And right in the middle, they met. And the single brother looked at the married brother and saw the wagon full of wheat. And the married brother looked at the single brother and saw the wagon full of wheat. And instantly, they understood what was happening. And the two brothers, for the first time in many years, embraced. The messenger said to the spirits, this is the most beautiful place in the world, because this is the place where there is brotherly love. I want to thank Ira for everything they've done, and I think that it would be really great if everybody got up and we were all part of this one great big hug. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next year. Next year.